Hey everyone, this is a quick video to show you how I found the stocks featured in this week's newsletter. It requires a advanced membership on Stockscores.com, which is $29 a month. You can do a free trial if you like. Just go to the products area of Stockscores to start that trial. All right, let me show you how this works. First of all, we're going to select a preset scan called Stockscores Simple. I like to do the Canadian and US markets separately, so I'm going to select here all Canadian, and I'm going to set the number of trades to 250. I then run the report, and it spits out for me the 13 stocks that as of Friday met their criteria of that strategy. Next, I'm going to view those charts to see which ones have the kind of chart pattern that I like. Now, I like to look for confirmation of multiple time frames. This particular chart is pretty good on the daily chart. Let's take a look at the weekly. And there we see it's got quite a bit of resistance to work through. I expect that it's going to get stuck probably at 50 cents at that peak earlier in 2011, and that just doesn't have a great reward for risk relationship for me. So I continue to just cycle through these charts, and once you've done this for a while, you can get pretty quick at doing it. It's not that difficult. We're looking for stocks breaking from low price volatility, from a rising bottom, signs of optimism, that sort of thing. Here's a chart that looks interesting. We can see here that Suncor has rising bottoms as we move from left to right, and this week it breaks through some resistance. And we can blow it up a little bit to get a better impression of that. I can also change it to a 5-year weekly chart and again blow it up, and this is where I see something that I like, because we've got a stock that has not only broken its downward trend line, but is also now breaking from this rising bottom over here on the right. Upside is probably the $45, $46 range, downside $33.50, so we've got $3.50 of downside and about $7 of upside. It seems to me like that's something worth taking. So that was how I found the stock Suncor on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Now I can go back to the market scan and run the same scan on the US market. So again, I select Stockscores Simple, run it on All American. This time I'm going to set my number of trades to 5,000 just so I don't get so many results. Run the report, and I get 66 stocks found by the engine. Next, I go back to my gallery viewer and again look for those good chart patterns. Here's a real good looking chart pattern. The stock is breaking from a pennant pattern. We see an almost identical pattern here on the featured stock from this week, which is Pacific Ethanol, PEIX. Could have featured either of them. Quite truthfully, they're in the same industry and look very good, both of them. But here we have a stock that's breaking from a pennant pattern, rising bottoms into that breakout, a sign of optimism. That stock looks like it wants to go higher. Now, I actually featured the stock in my newsletter a few weeks ago. Stock was up 27.5% on Friday. Well, hopefully that helps you understand how to use the Stockscores Market Scan tool and the Stockscores Simple strategy. Have a great week in the market and trade well.